Picture a winter evening in 1943, somewhere in the English countryside. Snow blankets the fields, and inside a modest stone cottage, a family gathers around a single cast-iron stove. The father carefully selects a dense oak log, positioning it with the precision of a craftsman. This isn't just firewood, it's survival. This is the story of how families across war-torn Europe mastered the ancient art of heating their homes with minimal resources, transforming a single piece of wood into hours of life-sustaining warmth. Today, we're unlocking the secrets of wartime heating efficiency, techniques born from necessity that modern preppers and homesteaders are rediscovering in our uncertain times. The wartime heating method wasn't about burning wood, it was about controlling combustion with surgical precision. Families learned to select hardwoods like oak, ash, or beech, dense timbers that could smoulder for 6 to 8 hours when positioned correctly. The key lay in understanding airflow dynamics. A large log, 12 to 16 inches in diameter, was placed at the back of a cast-iron stove with its grain running horizontal. The front damper was adjusted to restrict oxygen flow, creating a slow oxygen-starved burn that produced steady radiant heat rather than wasteful flames. This transformed the wood into a slow-release furnace, its cellular structure breaking down gradually, releasing thermal energy in controlled waves that warmed cast iron, which then radiated heat throughout the room for hours after the visible fire had died. The stove's position wasn't arbitrary. It was strategic warfare against winter itself. Families placed these heating units in ground-floor central rooms, typically the kitchen or parlour, where ceiling heights were lower and thermal mass could accumulate. Above, floor grates and purpose-cut vents allowed warm air to rise naturally through homes built with passive convection in mind. Cold air sank through stairwells and doorways, creating a gentle circulation loop that required no electricity, no fans, just the eternal physics of heat rising and cold descending. Stone and brick homes, common across Britain and Europe, acted as thermal batteries, absorbing heat during the day and releasing it slowly through the night. Families hung heavy wool blankets in doorways, creating airlocks that preserved precious warmth while allowing movement between rooms. Coal and fuel oil vanished into the war machine, leaving families to adapt or, freeze. Women became experts in fuel management, knowing that green wood was the enemy. It hissed and steamed, wasting heat on evaporating moisture rather than warming homes. Properly seasoned wood, dried for at least a year under cover, burned with 3 times the efficiency. Families scavenged deadfall from hedgerows, salvaged lumber from bombed buildings, and coppiced their own woodlots using centuries-old techniques. Every scrap mattered. Bark was saved for kindling, sawdust compressed into fire-starter bricks, and ash collected for gardens and soap-making. Nothing was wasted because, nothing could be wasted. Beyond technique lay something deeper. The gathering of family around a single source of warmth created bonds that central heating has since dissolved. Children did homework by stovelight, while grandmothers knitted, their fingers working by muscle memory in the flickering glow. The evening fire-tending ritual became meditation, a moment to check dampers, add a small log if needed, and prepare the home for the cold vigil of night. This wasn't deprivation, it was mastery over environment through knowledge passed down through generations and sharpened by wartime necessity. These techniques didn't die with rationing, they were simply forgotten in the abundance that followed. But as modern families rediscover self-reliance, these wartime lessons burn bright again. The ability to heat a space efficiently with minimal resources isn't nostalgia, it's practical knowledge for an unpredictable future. Subscribe to Fieldcraft Chronicles to continue exploring the forgotten wisdom of those who survived through skill and determination. Share this with someone who values self-reliance and the lessons history offers to those willing to listen. The embers of the past still glow. We need only tend them wisely.